Welcome to Taking Care of Business on Kern Radio Newstalk 1180 with your host Clay Kerner, and I'm Marty Pay. Clay, it's been a busy week.
And I'm excited about today.
I am too. Shelby, my daughter, played at the Crystal Palace last Friday and Saturday. That was fun. What a voice she's got.
You know, it looks like Shelby might end up getting a contract.
Yes, thanks to my buddy Clay. Listen, I'll have to buy you lunch for that.
A lunch?
I spent 3 days in Sacramento at a legislative conference, which we'll talk about next week, because this week we are not talking about politics, which is a rarity for us. Last week we had two incredible guests I wanted to thank, Brent Bozell from the Media Research Center and our old buddy Bob Lowen talking about the new campaign reform initiative. It was a great, great show. But, Clay, next week you're going to be in Tehachapi. I
am. I'm going to be talking about Obamacare at the Republican Women's.
At the Tehachapi Congress of Republicans.
Women.
And that'll be at Kelsey's next Tuesday night.
Right.
So anybody
looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Our guest next weekend is Lisa Green, our own district attorney, and we may have somebody else with her. I haven't set that up yet. But she'll be talking about Sexual Assault Month, which I guess is this month in Kern County. But, drum roll again, Clay, today we've got a different kind of show. We're going to talk to an old friend of mine in the studio who just wrote a great book called I Had a Ball, My Relationship with Lucille Ball. And this is Lucille Ball's #1 fan, Michael Stern. Michael, welcome to Taking Care of Business.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad to be here in Bakersfield.
Okay, I have a young man here.
Hello, Mike.
Hi. My question is...
Mike is my #1 fan. He looks pretty young for that.
How do you qualify to be the #1 fan?
Yes, he just is, that's all.
It's a lot of...
You know, I love the way she said that. He just is. That's all.
That's it. I haven't heard that in a long time. I love that piece.
Yeah, I found it on the internet. When was that, Michael?
I'm going to say that was close to 1980.
1980.
She was doing a seminar, which she did a lot of Q&A seminars, and it was at UCLA. It was live on NBC. It was called America Alive. It was hosted by Art Linkletter's son, Jack.
Oh, geez.
And it was almost like The View, the TV show The View today. And I raised my hand, and she picked on me, and she said, "This is Mike. He's my #1 fan."
That's great.
That's a real responsibility.
Yes, it is. And you've handled that responsibility well over the years.
Thank you very much.
You know, I think we usually don't take calls, but we're going to open this up to calls today because it's that kind of a show. It's a fun kind of show. If you want to call in, be a part of the show, it's 842-KERN. That's 842-5376 or 1-800-640-KERN. How did you get to, I mean, to me, it's a real American dream story because, you know, here it is, you're a fan, and you end up becoming, you know, really a close personal friend of hers. How did that happen?
Well, first of all, backtrack a little bit. When I was 7, 8 years old, I went to see a movie called Yours, Mine, and Ours. And according to my family, it was the first movie that I actually sat in the entire theater without getting up, running around. This lady with her flaming red hair just caught my attention. Loved it. Then, a few months later, I saw the TV show I Love Lucy, which I had never seen before, in black and white. And it was my aunt who actually said, "It's the same lady." You know, I was 8 years old. I had no idea it was the same lady. So from that day on, I was a huge fan of Lucille Ball. And my our neighbor's mother's boss worked on Here's Lucy, which was the series that Lucy was doing in the late 60s, early 70s with her real-life kids. And they got me a ticket to see the show. I was 10 when I went to see the show. You had to be 12. I had to sneak in. And I got to see Lucy for the first time ever in person. I went back a couple extra times, and I went with my scrapbook of photos. And I went to Lucy's mother, who went to every single filming. She was the #1 fan. And
until you came along.
Until I came around. But she was very nice to me. She said, "How would you like to meet Lucy after the show?" I went backstage after the show. I bit my nails down to the bottoms for that 2 hours of waiting to meet her. She was extremely nice to me. She was on a staircase, and she looked like she was 12 feet tall. And she looked through my scrapbook of photos. She gave me a kiss. She gave me an autograph, and off I would go, like she would never see me again. But I just happened to be at the studios. I lived in the LA area, so I was able to go to the shows a few times. And, I went to see her.
Sure.
And finally she said, "Hey, you could be my #1 fan, but you better get a job and stay in school.
And we're going to talk a little later about
Sure.
your job because that's kind of a cute story.
Hey, Michael, and we haven't talked about it yet. I'm sure Marty's going to bring it up, but you have this great book called I Had a Ball that you're going to have a signing today at Russo's Books.
At 2:30 today, and I want everyone from Bakersfield to show up.
Oh, that'll be great. Yeah, 2:30 to 5.
2:30 to 5. I will be there. We have lots of books to sell, and hopefully people will come.
We've got a call already. Tony on the line has a question. Tony, what's your question for Michael Stern?
Well, and I missed the beginning part of the show, so I'm not sure what you were talking about. I wanted to ask you about applying for basically getting a job after being discharged from my previous company that I was with for quite a while. Seemed to be kind of running up against the wall with a lot of companies that kind of when they see that, it's an automatic no.
Tony, I think you may have just called the wrong show.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But, let's see if we can...
we can certainly help you. Leave your number with Zach, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, definitely, Tony.
Okay.
Yeah, give Zach your number. Let's see what we can do to help you, okay?
That's a very good question.
Yeah. Sorry about that, but yeah, seriously, get Zach the number. We'll see what we can do for you. So, Clay, you had a...
Well, I was just talking about the book that Michael wrote called I Had a Ball. It's a story of Michael and Lucy, and what I really liked about the book, it had a lot of pictures.
Well...
There's 228 pages of written word as well. It's my life story with Lucy. And it's just a very, very nice book. There's been a lot of books about Lucy out there. Mm-hmm. And some of them aren't the nicest. But this one is from a fan's point of view. She was extremely nice to me. She sort of treated me like a son. And it's just nice stories with Lucy and myself or her family or other celebrities that I met through Lucy.
What made her so special to you? Just the way she treated you, or what was it really made you love Lucy the way you do?
Well, you know what? I didn't know her as Lucy Ricardo. I knew her as Lucille Ball Morton, her second husband, and she was just extremely nice to me. She would always say, you know what? That's nice, but talk to your parents.
Right.
She wanted to be like motherly, but it's like, don't tell me your problems. Talk to your parents. And she got me closer to my parents, which is awesome
neat.
thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's pick up with that when you get back. We're going to do something different today, something unique that we haven't done in a while. We're going to give away an autographed book to our first caller at 842-5376 or 1-800-640-KERN. And we will be back in a moment on Taking Care of Business on Kern Radio Newstalk 1180.